Right. Welcome. Today we are going to be building, or attempting to build, this watch. And well, I've discovered one thing, is that I don't know how to open the clasp on the case, which is eventually going to be a problem, but we'll work our way around it. If we get there, that is. I'm double gloving because last time I used these gloves, my fingerprints went through when I was doing camera stuff. So if the camera dies, then the camera dies. I'm not waiting to charge it. I'm just going to put that out there now, because I have a feeling this is going to really frustrate me at some point. And when the camera dies, I'm not going to be wanting to wait for it to charge. Right, double gloved up. Let's also now realizing I should have taken these out of the packet beforehand. As you can see, I'm a bit of a plonker, but anyhow, we need this out because that's what our movement is going to go on to protect it. Let's get rid of that. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put this little movement decal on, which I realise is in a Ziploc bag, which is also another problem because Ziploc bag and gloves don't match very well. So there's the movement, and I just open this bag up. I won't take it out yet because there's also a sticker on the back of this. I don't quite understand how they expect you to take this sticker off with said gloves on, but we shall see what we shall see, I suppose. Get that out of the way. Now there's a spare stem in here which is very important, and that will come in handy later on, so we need to keep that somewhere safe. And somehow get this out. Oh, didn't mean to do that, but it happened, so just that quickly. Stop that moving. So here we go. There is our movement, and you can see the open heartness of it, which is very cool. So let's try and get this back design on now, since we're here, and this is the first thing I want to get on before we fiddle around with the other stuff. However, it has some double-sided tape on, and I have no idea how that's going to come off. Hold on, let me go turn the aircon up, because I'm getting quite warm. We're going to need some tweezers for this, that's for certain. Here we are. This is quite delicate work, if I do say so myself. So this should fit directly over here. If it will stop moving, it would be very helpful. Just like so. So that's on there. Let's just push it on. So there we are. Now the rotor plate is on, which is very cool. I'm actually really happy with that. That does look very nice. Okay. So now that's on, we can focus on the front, which is the main parts. So now we need the dial. That's the crown and stem set. This is the dial here. Now this is a Seiko mod, meaning it isn't an official Seiko, but it's also branded by Seiko. So this movement is actually a Seiko movement that comes in a majority of their watches. And they sell it separately like this so that you can do things like this and customize your watch to your tastes. So it isn't an actual Seiko, it is a Seiko mod, which is completely different. And you can actually find a fair few of these on the market. Now here's the dial that I have chosen. Look at that. Is that not a beauty? I quite like that. Green was a good choice. Now, we have to find where the pinholes are for this to see where it lines up. And this is a part where I'm very confused about, because I'm not entirely sure how it works. Because there's no actual visible holes. But I have a feeling it's that back one. You know what, let's cheeky hand swap. Oh dear. As you can tell, I'm not very good at this. Fine precision work stuff. So it's that back piece and that front one. So I have to take off opposite side. You know what? That goes there. That has to go in there. So you know, we'll take off this side first, which will be this one. Oh, my cutters are in here. Are they in there? No, they're in here. Let's just double check that. You know what they say? Measure once, cut twice. No. Right. That's definitely the back one there. So we'll snip this off. Like that. We'll need to file that down. I need to find a file. Hold on, is this moving? That is going. Let's stop that again. There we go. Let me... Now I did have a file up here. However, it appears to no longer be. Hold on, let's cut first. So this side, does that side even go in? It does. Which means this one has to be the front one that comes off. Like that. If I failed on this part already, it won't look good for the rest of it. Yes, there we go. We don't actually need a file. I lie, we need a file. Look at that. That's beauty. Okay, hold on. Let me try and get this off. Okay, that was a mistake. Guys, I made a mistake already. I should have filed it first. Okay, there we go. That may or may not have just bent that pin, but it's fine. Right, let me go find a file. I'll be back. Okay, file retrieved. Now we're going to do this away from the movement itself, because I don't want to get any extra dust inside of it. We'll just gently file this down. Okay, that should do. Let me just blow that off and bring this back. And there we go. That is on there nicely now. Look at that. What a beauty. That is very nice actually. Okay, so now we have to press on the hands, which will be interesting because apparently this is the hardest part of doing this. So if I can there we go. Job done. Right. Now each of these is for a different hand, but for which one I do not know. So let's just take them out. Get that out. Get that out of here. There you go, and that one. Right. So each of these should be a different size. That one's definitely quite large. This one's rather small. That one I also can't tell. So we just have to try and see, which I'm not very optimistic about, because I've heard a lot of bad things of this, where things go wrong. Rather, what the hell has happened here? It's in a case inside of a Ziploc. Right. That doesn't make much sense to me. Why there'd be inside of a Ziploc bag inside of a case, but regardless, that's a useful case. Now I'm going to put the hands on here. If I can get the blasted bag open. There we go. And go on. There's the minutes hand, or owl hand rather. Okay, there's our hands. Let's check. Alright, they go on in size order. That's slightly dial is slightly not aligned, but I think it should be okay. Now let's take this hand, if I can get it up. This side is the top. So let's take that with the biggest hand press. We'll use the plastic side. And put that one. This is a lot harder than I thought it would be. But that's on, I think. Feels like it's on. Is that right? It looks right, but also it doesn't at the same time. And I guess we'll find out. So I'm thinking the next biggest must be this one. So let's give it a try. I think I've put them on in the wrong order, which I had a feeling I'd do. So I bought these. The annoying thing is about all this stuff is it doesn't have instructions. You sort of have to figure it out. But that one does have the biggest hole, so it must be first. Which means I was right. Right, let's try again then. Wait, was it this one? This one's definitely the biggest. I'm scared if I push it too hard it'll break though. It also doesn't look like it's on all the way. But I feel like it is. This one has to be the next one, surely. It went on. It went on and it turns. Which is good news. So now for the hardest part. Let's get that dust off quickly. The seconds hand, which by process of elimination must mean it's the black one. I should probably label those at some point. Now the second hand doesn't have a side, but I'm going to assume it's that way because there's a hole in that side.
Why does this feel like it's slightly magnetic and it's not going in? There's a tiny, tiny pin that I can barely see. I'm trying to line up. Which I have a feeling is going to take a lot longer than I want. Because that for sure is definitely the way it goes. Oh dear. This is a lot harder than I thought with this part. Also, I was lied to, these plastic tweezers do actually scratch the hands. At least these hands anyway. This is going to take a while, folks. I'll get back to you when it's on. Okay, so I've got all the hands on now. The second hand was a bit of a pain with clearances, but I've fixed it. Whether it stays fixed or not, that's a different question. However, it is now working. So the only last step to do is to get it in the case, which is going to be another problem in its own, because simply put, it's just going to be a pain, because the bracelet I can't get off because I thought it would come not on. So yeah, it's going to be a pain to get it in and sorted. And this back isn't the back that I thought. Well, it doesn't come off the way that I thought it would come off, basically. I have a slight feeling it's been cross-threaded on. Okay, there we go. Case back is off. See, another problem is that this bracelet is now going to keep dropping in, and it's going to scratch, which is another problem to think about. But anyway, that's that. Now we can go ahead and put this gasket here. This is the water resistance gasket, actually. Just here, I don't know if you can see it. But oh dear. We're going to put that in this gasket lubricant, like so. We're going to put the lid on. And we'll grease it up like that and just leave it in there for a bit. And okay, now the next thing is taking this out, which I can't remember how to do, so we're going to look up. Hold on. We've got the stem out, which is good, because now we can get the watch in the case, which is also good. So let's get to cleaning this out. It does mean that it is now ticking though. But you can see that. You can see it ticking away. That's very cool. My only concern is it fitting in the case now. So let's get that good old dust out. With this good old dust. And fit the watch into it. Like so. Oh dear God. It's proving a lot harder than I thought again. Mostly inexperience, I'd like to say, at least. Okay, cool. That's now in. Partly. Can just needs to come round a tiny little bit. Which, there we go. Did I just push that the wrong way? I think I did. How about that? There we go. Now that is in there. Well, now I know for next time not to buy a case with a strap, because I didn't anticipate that that would be there. Regardless, let's use that to block the movement. Now, I am watching YouTube for this bit. So we need the crown stem set, which is here. Now, what did I do with the old? So there's one stem in there. There should be another one in here, in case I mess up that one. Now, the thing is, all these people on YouTube have calipers, and as it so happens, I do not. I have a good old-fashioned eyeball. And so today we're going to be not measuring at all and cutting several times to fit this. So there is that. Now, I'm not entirely sure what that piece is, but that's slightly bent. also realizing I don't have the tool to take that off. That's a lie, I do. Give me a second. No, they're not in there. What happened to my pliers? Someone's stolen my pliers. Hold on a second. Right, I have my pliers, or a replacement for them. We should be needing those. Now, we need to test this stem for its length. And I need to figure out why this isn't going in. Okay. How do I get this out of here is the next question. And how are we going to measure this? You know what, I think we do it until it works. That's what I think. There we go, take that out. Put that back in there. Now somehow we need to take off this. So that mark there is where it comes to. So I reckon if we cut about there for starters, and let's see what we need to adjust. Don't jump. If we can cut it, that is. There we go. And thread this back on. I have a feeling that didn't do good things for my cutters. File. Okay.
harder than it looks. That's not going in. Okay. Let's try again. I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. I just haven't figured it out yet. Oh my god, we can still take off quite a lot more. Look at that. Got plenty to take off. I'll see you again when this is good. Okay, so I have it in, as you can see here. So how the crown works is, it can unscrew, like so. And once you've unscrewed it, it doesn't do anything, right? You can wind the watch, and then you should be able to just pop it out like that, and the hands will stop. I would show you, but the back is not on right now, so I'll show you when it's on. So basically, eyeballing is perfect. Well, in my case anyway, I got lucky. So, but there is one thing I'm quite upset about, is that the dial I bought, or the crown even that I bought, this nice seiko one, will not actually fit, which is quite sad, actually. It's just simply just too big, which is sad because I spent a pretty penny on it, but regardless, we now have a spare one for a future project, which is useful. Or we can sell it, which is also useful. But now we've got that, all that's left to do is get the gasket out, put it in, and close the back up, and we'll be done with our watch, which is quite exciting actually, because even though it's taken me about almost an hour, it's exciting. I did plan to do this on the weekend, but simply put, I couldn't wait. So let's give this a good old blow with the duster before we do anything. Slide that in there slightly. Give this a good old blow with the duster. We need to take out this spring, which you guys will probably remember how it went in. I do not. There we go, it's all nice and greased up. We'll pop that around there like so. No, actually we won't. Take that off. That grease is very sticky. We shall put this where it's supposed to go. And there's a little groove here. Being careful not to get it on any of the moving parts. Because that isn't where it's supposed to be. Simply put, give that another quick blow off with the duster, as with the inside of the case, and slap that on there. Right. Now we just have the difficult task of closing. Which is actually proving quite difficult. Dare I say it? Because finding the thread is rather hard when there's a bracelet in the way and you've got gloves on. I think I've got it. Gently shuffling that around till it will no longer finger tighten, and apply some pressure. Until you can no longer force it tight with your fingers. Like that. And there we have it. I'm very pleased with that. I'm very pleased with that. That's turned out very well, actually. Now it's just a case of, well, simply finding out how to open the case. Let's take these gloves off. Actually, let's put the lid on this first. And the gasket oil. There we are. Get these gloves off. Oof. Horrible, horrible hands. Let me go dry my hands. Not going to do anyone a whole lot of good wet hands is. Right. Get those away. There we go. Let's get the protective film off the front. Not a single speck of dust is in sight. Look at that. That is a beauty. Now let's set the time. So to do that, we unscrew this. It's going to annoy me now whenever I see this tiny speck of dust on it, because of how reflective everything is. You can see it, and it's sort of sticking to the surface. But it's definitely not on the inside, because I can wipe it off. Right. I lie, there's one piece on the inside. That's gonna really annoy me now. I'm gonna have to take it apart. Anyway, I'll do that off camera. But
regardless. So we unscrew the crown, pull the crown out, bosh, and then we can set the time. It's currently 3:30, so 3:35, and then we simply push that and screw, and that is job done. That dust isn't even a dust, it's a kink in the blooming glass. Oh well. Let's get the excess grease off the back here. A light is dust. For fuck's sake. Right. No matter, easy fix. I will need to get gloves again. But anyway, the watch is finished. Yeah. I'm quite pleased with that. It's just that one speck of dust that I'm going to take out in a second. But there we are, finished product. What do we think? The open heart movement. And it's see-through too. I'm actually in love with this. This is amazing. This is probably the best thing I've done all year. And it's only January. This is amazing. Oh, I'm so pleased with this. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching that. Watching me struggle. I'm really happy with that. Anyway, something slightly different from usual. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Peace.